Hello survivors and welcome to another Walking Dead Road to Survival video, and in this video we're going to be taking a first look at Gold Mythic Carl 2000, who is going to be an advanced token will character coming to RTS and also the final Skybound X2 character to be released during the Mythic trial. Visually he looks really interesting. We did kind of get a sneak peek at this character when the Mythic trial was originally announced. We did see a silhouette of this character. We saw the hat and it was a real giveaway. This has to be Carl. This has to be Carl. And also we did see it in the background sort of in Tyrese's art, but we see it in much better detail here. You can see he's on a hoverboard. He's got the dual pistols looking really cool. The hoverboard is giving me proper Back to the Future 2 vibes. It's got the colorization of the Marty McFly one, but it has this kind of like visual style of the Biff one with the spikes on the front and stuff like that. He also has like a little companion hovering, you know, behind his head on the right hand side, and on the left hand side you can see it in a bit more detail there. Pretty cool. And he's also like vaporizing someone, or he's like freezing them. Quite a lot going on that art for sure. Animated, pretty nice. We look at the stats on this character. Level 1440, limit break 3. He has got 15,354 attack, 25,333 defense, and 36,082 HP. He's a strong character, a medic, of course a gold mythic, and he is going to be a member of the Skybound X2 Allegiance, like I said already. Okay, so first up we'll look at his Adrenaline Rush, and it is called Hover Tricks. It is a very fast rush. It has got a recharge rate of 48 AP. This character gets 75% Halo for 2 turns, revive 2 teammates with 50% of their max HP, make a critical attack against an enemy for 300% damage, but 700% if the enemy has a positive status effect. So generally speaking, that is going to be the case. You have a lot of characters who have like attack buffs, you know, heal over time, something like that, and that's going to be a positive status effect, and they're going to take extra damage because of that. Now, Carl's base damage is his lowest stat, so obviously the multiplier comes from this. And if he is on the defense team, there's going to be less chances that it's going to be boosted up. But it's a guaranteed crit. If it does trait damage, which a lot of characters do obviously prioritize the character they're going to do trait damage against, it will be pretty significant. And especially if it's an offensive-based character who doesn't have any sort of defensive build. And the other parts of his kit, the starter parts, the Halo's nice, obviously, for Carl. That means if he gets taken out, as long as he doesn't get decapped, he will be able to pick himself back up the next turn with 75% of his max HP. And then the revive to 2 teammates is pretty straightforward. If he gets the rush off, 2 teammates that are downs, that are revivable, will get picked back up with 50% of their max HP. Because he's a medic though, it will tie in with other skills in his passives, and they should get a bonus HP boost on top of this, so they'll have a little bit of a extra kind of shield there as well. Okay, so as you can see, we are going to be attacking Carl. He's on the defense team by himself, but he has got 2 teammates he can revive. He's first going to get off that Halo once he gets Adrenaline Rush off. The revive will then come in on his teammates, and they'll have 50% of their max HP. But it'll also hit someone for 300% critical. But everyone on my team has a positive status effect, so he should hit for 700%. I'm just going to hit with Wanderer, and then it should go to his turn. So the revive comes in. 700% hit comes in. It's actually pretty decent. 31,000 against an offensive character isn't too bad at all. The only reason I managed to survive that is because of the bonus HP. So it would have one-shot Clementine otherwise. And you can see the characters did get picked up. They've got 50% of their max HP, but they do also have a little bit of bonus HP like I was talking about before. So this is what is going to basically happen when it comes to the teammates that are downed. But the damage output was a little bit better than I was expecting, honestly. And I think that damage mainly is going to come down to who he attacks. If he attacks someone who's more of a support character on an attack team, even if they are fast, generally speaking, won't be as, terrible. But Clementine now is more like damage built effectively, and she didn't have anything to like survive that, except the bonus HP, fortunately for her. Otherwise, pretty bad. It would only be 300% if she didn't have a positive buff, so not as powerful, but it's still going to do pretty significant damage. Definitely better than like a basic attack anyway. If we look at the upgrades, you can see grade 2, it gets an upgrade where 400% damage if the enemy has a positive status effect. So that's initially just going to have the 300% damage, but that's very low grade, so that's very easy to come by. AP cost reduction at grade 4 to 48. So initially I think it would be 55, I guess. Again, you only need 1 copy to get that, so that's not too hard to come by again. Limit Break 1 upgrade is pretty decent. This character gets 75% Halo for 2 turns. This is where you're going to get pretty much the full power, you know, of the Adrenaline Rush in terms of what it can do, but the scale of it does increase a little bit more when it goes to Limit Break 3, because you'll be reviving 2 teammates instead of 1 teammate, and that is actually pretty significant. You know, 2 teammates is nice. It's going to go off no matter what. It's not like these signature moves where if there isn't anyone to revive, it won't revive anyone, because he will always do Halo, he will always do the damage. The revive will just be able to revive someone if there is someone revivable, so it will always do something that's decent for Carl with the Halo and some damage regardless. But anyway, we'll check out something else on his kit, which is going to be the signature move, and it is called Outmaneuver. It has got an initial cooldown of turn 1, cooldown of 1 turn, a number of uses are limited. All teammates get elusive for 1 turn, heal all strong teammates for 10% of their max HP, which increases by 10% each turn for the rest of combat. So this is actually really nice for the entire team. Elusive for 1 turn off of turn 1 is nuts, because generally speaking, teams will rush on turn 2 and they have to gain AP on turn 2. Signature moves will come off on turn 1. Some will be on turn 2, but in this case, you would have to save all your signature moves for turn 2 so that you still gain the AP. The heal all strong teammates for the rest of combat, you know, for 10% of their max HP is really powerful. And the fact that it increases by 10% each turn as well, again, really powerful. But they should also stack. So for instance, if it gets to the second time it comes around on the cooldown, it should add 10% on top to what it already has. The combination with this character and the likes of like Circuit would be pretty cool. You know, Circuit giving out defense to all strong characters. Carl's giving out heal over time to all strong characters. Pretty nice combo between those two. Okay, so we'll just throw some defensive characters on the same team as Carl. Some of them are strong, some of them aren't. I'm just going to defend on Holiday Carl. And the signature move will come off. And you'll see some heal over time go on to some teammates. And it actually stacks with other heal over time that they've already got. But you'll see heal over time on Circuit of 10%. She's got a lot of buffs going on right now. So it's actually gone up to 20% already. And Carl should have 20%. But you see that up the top left-hand corner we have Rosie. It got stacked on top of her heal over time that she already had from her own kit. So yeah, very powerful indeed. What we're going to do is we're going to try and see if we can get it to go off again. We'll take him out. We'll hit the defend action. He's going to rush. I mean, it's not a problem too much. I just want to see it go off a second time and see how the stat comes in. Well, you can see other characters doing their heal over time. And then now he should do his signature move again. And I'm guessing it would add 30% this time. So it adds 10% for the over time. And then does it go up to 60%? It goes up to 80%, yeah. There we go, 80%. So it did add 30%. So it adds 10%, then the 10% of every turn, and then the 10% of every turn effectively twice, seemingly. This can stack up crazy high. Look, we've got a character receiving 155% HP per turn, 80% on Carl as well. So suddenly strong characters and teams on defense teams looking actually pretty powerful, and it's been a while. And we have seen fast characters also get a resurgence recently. Pretty much all the traits on defense are looking pretty good right now. Defense is looking pretty solid. I mean, I think we all know this. If we look at the upgrades, we can see at grade 3 it gets -1 to cooldown, so it goes from a 2-turn cooldown down to a 1-turn cooldown. At grade 5 it gets an upgrade where all teammates get elusive for 1 turn. This is obviously pretty important. No AP gain on basic attacks. No AP gain when you get attacked as well by a character who has elusive. And then at LB2 it gets -1 to starting cooldown where it's turn 1. And generally speaking, you'd want this to happen turn 1, because if it happened turn 2, then that would be the rush turn for the enemy team, because it will go back to the enemy on the attack, and that's their turn 3. So you want to stop their AP gain on their enemy's turn 2, not on their turn 3 when they're rushing. but you want to stop them from getting their rushes. So of course, very powerful for Carl, very powerful for his teammates. He doesn't necessarily have to have lots of strong teammates. He could just heal himself and give the elusive to everybody. But the more strong teammates, the more characters that are going to get the massive heal over time. And like I showed, it does stack up over time, and it does happen quite quickly. Because it has a very short cooldown, he'll be doing it straight pretty much after his rush. If he rushes turn 2, he should be doing his signature move again turn 3. Okay guys, it's that time of the video, and we are going to be doing a giveaway. And I'm excited because I've actually thought of a decent phrase to you guys to type. This is going to be an advanced token giveaway. We're going to have 10,000 to the winner, 5,000 to 2 runners up. And all you have to do is make a comment below with the phrase "Great Scott" in your comment. Make sure it's an extended comment, not just "Great Scott." Otherwise, you could get spammed out by YouTube. But I look forward to seeing some of your interesting comments, guys. Best of luck in the giveaway. Now back to the video. Now, of course, Carl is going to have some mythic abilities. These are his passive skills. He is going to have Spirit, which is going to be the medic passive, where 20% of all healing performed by this character also granted as bonus HP. The next one is Safety Gear. At the start of each wave, 100% chance all teammates get 100% damage over time reduction for 2 turns. This is going to be like Burn and Bleed, so this is pretty much the thing that the Skybound X2 team would need, so he's going to fit into that team fairly well. And then we can see next up is going to be Strong Abnormality. At the start of each wave, 100% chance all strong teammates get 100% normalized resistance for 1 turn. And this is pretty much going to be the same as Claudio's passive, but for strong characters. So that's actually pretty, decent. I think it's pretty balanced. It's only for the first turn, so you can't just hard nuke somebody. Next up is whenever a teammate dies, 60% chance to revive a teammate with 50% of their max HP. Now, this may sound familiar as well, and this is because Dayu had this passive or something very similar to it, where when a character died, that you had a chance to revive a teammate. It can be very frustrating, honestly. It was very frustrating on Dayu. It could extend fights when, you wouldn't want it to. Dayu was just an okay character. Carl is looking a lot stronger, so he's going to be a lot more powerful and harder to take down himself. So when you're taking down his teammates, there is just a chance that someone's going to get revived because of that. So we're going to attack a defense team with Carl on it. He has got some strong teammates for support, and you can see that they've got 100% normalized resistance. And it's only going to be to 4 characters because the last character in the bottom left-hand corner is May, and she is fast. Now, she will get that damage over time reduction as a buff for 2 turns, just like all of Carl's teammates will, but only strong teammates will get that normalized resistance. If I start taking out characters, the first character I'm free to do so, because there's no downed characters already, there's no chance of a potential revive, but every subsequent takedown, as long as there is a revivable potential character on the floor, we have a chance of reviving a teammate because of that. So every single attack, as you can see, we just did get exactly 50% potential. The only way to stop this from happening is to decap a teammate, decap one of them, and that will stop them from being able to get revived. However, the decapped attack itself has a chance to revive someone. So this attack could have revived someone. There we go, it did. So the animation can be a bit lagged on that last attack. And you can see that Alpha did get revived because of the decap on May. Now, if I was to continue the attacks, we'll just see if we can pick up Brutus. We've got 2 attacks here. Brutus gets picked up. The circle of life continues, basically. Now, obviously, that was just showing you it in the extreme because those characters have very low HP. But do remember, when those characters get revived who are high HP, if they've got 50,000, 60,000 HP, they're getting 25 to 30,000 HP healed off of that initial actual heal itself, plus 20% bonus HP on top. You're not going to be able to instantly take these characters out, so the takedowns are not going to be able to be easily coming in. So the chain revives are not going to be so easy, but it's still how it would work if you did manage to take out multiple characters. For instance, you could do a big multi-hit rush and take out 2 or 3 characters, and they could just be reviving each other as you take them down. It can be as crazy as that. Now, if we look at the upgrades, you can see he gets the first half of Safety Gear at grade 1, where he has a 50% chance all teammates get 100% damage over time reduction for 2 turns. At grade 2, he gets the first half of Spirit, and that's 10% of healing as bonus HP. At grade 3, he's going to get the second half of Safety Gear, and that'll be 100% chance that all teammates get 100% damage over time reduction for 2 turns. At grade 4, he gets the first half of strong abnormality, 50% chance all strong teammates get 100% normalized resistance for 1 turn, and at grade 5 he gets the first half of reactive recovery, 30% chance to revive a teammate with 50% NMX HP when a teammate is taken down. Then we move on to the limit breaks, and it's going to be Spirit 2, 20% total on that bonus HP because he is a medic on all healing done. At limit break 2, it's going to be 100% chance that all strong teammates get 100% normalized for resistance for 1 turn at the beginning of every wave. And then lastly, it's going to be limit break 3, reactive recovery 2 stacks with reactive recovery 1, making it a 60% chance to revive a teammate with 50% NMX HP whenever a teammate is taken down. So these passives are very good, they're very supportive, they work really well for the teammates, picking characters up, buffing characters, you know, extra healing because of spirit and stuff like that. It's going to work very nice. It also stops burn and bleed being a potential against these Skybound X2 teams, with Carl still getting the buffs from the other characters because he's a Skybound X2 character. So his usability is pretty decent. You can use him in multiple teams. You could use him on a more strong base team. You could use him on a Skybound X2 team. He's got options for sure. Where he's going to be best is going to be pretty much down to you and the rest of your roster. But I think a lot of people will have their hands on the Skybound X2 characters that are the defensive ones, because those are a bit more easily accessible. So he could slot into those teams really easily for you. Now he has got a specialist skill, and it is Dexterity. If this specialist takes damage, the amount taken is reduced based on their current AP. The more AP the specialist has, the less damage they take. If the character's health is above 20% and they take damage that would take them out, their health will be reduced to 19% instead. This is going to make characters that have multi-hit rushes like Kenny have to waste extra hits regardless of how much damage he can do against Carl. This is very nice. It does mean that it's kind of like a decap protection on a big hit. So for instance, if you were to come in with Titan, this would stop the damage from actually taking him out. So it's pretty decent there. So there are, you know, quite a few characters that have big hits and single target, and Carl's going to be semi-resistant to that to a certain extent. So it's quite nice indeed. The reduction side of things isn't that big a deal when it comes to how much AP he has. It's more the initial block, that 20% HP is actually pretty decent indeed. And honestly, the way I always look at Dexterity is I don't really want to be wasting a normalize on a character with Dexterity, because there are generally more powerful specialist skills that are more problematic, and that just lets someone with Dexterity just like kind of run amok. You know, even someone as simple as Kapoor, who has Dexterity, is so much stronger because of Dexterity than your average character of the same sort of, you know, tier of character. Now, of course, Carl is going to have a weapon, and it is Carl 2000's defensive hoverboard. Yes, he attacks with the hoverboard. It has got 40% HP, 30% defense, improved defense and attack down, being attacked a 60% chance to cause minus 35% defense and minus 35% attack for the attacker's next 2 turns. And in the last one, it has at the start of battle and turn, get 10% defense for 1 turn for every debuff on the enemy's living team. So if you put him on a team with lots of debuffers, he will get a massive defense buff because of that. And that's actually pretty cool, because some of the characters I showed before, like Rosie and Circuit, actually have quite early control on their kits. So that's actually kind of cool indeed. And also, you know, this includes weapon control. So if people have stun on defense on their weapons and it stuns 2 characters, that counts as 2 debuffs. So it will stack towards this. Now, the fact that he has HP and defense already on this on base is really nice, because it will just tie into Tyrese's leader skill. The weapon's pretty good. But the 3rd slot you probably want to swap out for something else, just because he's a massive window on otherwise, you know. But you could potentially see it as a good window to have, because if someone attacks him, they will give him AP and he'll rush extremely quickly. It depends on how, you know, problematic you think that rush is to go off early on in the fight, because the signature move will go off turn 1, 35 AP. He only needs 13 AP to get his rush, because it's only 48. And it's not like the 3rd slot is terrible in terms of what it actually does. 35% attack down is problematic for attack teams. Defense down even is problematic, because they will get massively nuked because of this. If he does his guaranteed crit against someone who has minus 35% defense and an attacking character, they're in a lot of trouble. So that is Gold Mythic Carl 2000, and like I said in the intro, he is the final Skybound X2 character coming to the game during this Mythic trial, and he is going to be on the advanced token wheel, available I believe this Thursday, so stay tuned for his release. And he is definitely going to be able to synergize very well with the other Skybound X2 defensive characters. That looks like a pretty decent 4-man, team on the defense. And we'll see what that 5th character is that's going to be added in there. It's actually going to be kind of interesting. I'm guessing it will be a strong character, just to take advantage of the fact that Carl's giving strong buffs. I mean, Circuit could easily just slot into that team, and they kind of just buff each other. Could maybe put Rosie in there as well for a shield. You've got some options there as well, so let me know your kind of ideas on what that last character could potentially be. Any thoughts on Carl 2000 and, his kit, his visuals? Let me know in the comments down below, guys. That is the end of my video. I want to thank you very much for tuning in. As always, keep on surviving, guys. Keep on surviving.